3 teens get stranded at sea for 50 days. What they did to survive is truly terrifying. But before we start, please make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell and smash that like button. We really appreciate your continuous support. 3 teenagers have been rescued after 50 days adrift in a small boat in the Pacific Ocean, surviving on coconuts, a seagull, and seawater. Samuel Perez and Philo, both 15, and Edward Nassau, 14, disappeared from Atafu Atoll, north of Samoa and part of the New Zealand territory of Tokelau, on a small aluminum boat after an annual sporting event on October 5th. An extensive search by New Zealand Air Force Orion found no trace of them. Some 500 people on Atafu had held memorial services for the boys. They were rescued by chance when a New Zealand fishing boat ventured into an area where it would normally not go. The boys had drifted 1,300 kilometers, 808 miles, and were west of Uvea, in the French territory of Wallis and Futuna, and northeast of Fiji, when a tuna boat heading for Auckland found them. Yesterday, we saw a small vessel, a little speedboat on our bows, and we knew it was a little weird. The first mate, Ty Fredrickson, told stuff.co.nz. We had enough smarts to know that there were people in it, and those people were not supposed to be there. About a mile out, the boys started waving to them. I pulled the vessel up as close as I could to them and asked them if they needed any help. They said very much so. They were ecstatic to see us. They were very skinny but physically in good health compared to what they have been through. Fredrickson, the ship's medic, put them on an intravenous drip, but the boys were able to sip water and soon wanted real food. They are in incredibly good shape for the time that they have been at sea, he said. The boys had a couple of coconuts on board, which they finished after 2 days, but were without water. Somehow they caught a bird. I don't know how, but they caught it. They ate it. That is what is recommended, Fredrickson said. They had a period when they were only drinking fresh water, which they were capturing during the night in a tarpaulin. They also told me that 2 weeks prior to us rescuing them, they were able to catch a seabird, which was very lucky for them. Their luck seemed to run out when it stopped raining for days before the rescue and they resorted to taking sips of seawater. They did mention that during the last 2 days they had started drinking salt water, which could have been disastrous for them, said Fredrickson, who thought the trio couldn't have survived much longer. It was a miracle we got to them in time. An aunt of Perez told the BBC that the family had been devastated after the memorial service. My mom, she cried every day and every night. Fakai said, we believed he was still alive anyway. We thought that God was still with them. She said that they thought the boys might have been trying to sail to Australia or to the US. After speaking to Sam on the telephone, she said he was asking for forgiveness. I think they did learn a big lesson. The boys were extremely fortunate that the fishing boat, the San Nicanau, happened to be in their vicinity. The boat, which had been fishing in Kiribati waters, would normally offload its catch in American Samoa. Instead, it was on its way back to New Zealand. We generally don't take this route, and we were following the fastest line to get to New Zealand, said Fredrickson. The boys are expected to be put ashore at Suva, Fiji today, Friday. To get to Atafu, though, they will have to fly to Samoa and then take a boat trip home to Tokelau, New Zealand's northernmost point, which has neither airport nor harbor. A Chinese sailor is thought to hold the record for survival at sea. Poon Lim spent 133 days alone in the South Atlantic after a British merchant ship, SS Ben Lomond, was torpedoed by a German U-boat in November of 1942.